Hey guys, Cornell Jermaine here. Listen, it is the holidays and we are all preparing to enjoy family, some good food, and great connection. So I thought I'd come to you to bring you some of my 5 must-haves for the holiday kitchen. I enjoy the kitchen, particularly for eating, but every now and then I like to get in there and cook. So I wanted to share a few things that I absolutely have to have during the holiday season when it comes to cooking or preparing food. And one of those things is an old school favorite that all of my old school cooks know all about, and that is pet milk, or what we call Carnation evaporated milk. Now this is the 2% version. You can get pet milk in different brands, but it is an awesome ingredient for especially like your macaroni and cheese. Some people use it in their pies and gravies. It has less water content than your whole milks or your fresh milks. Sometimes you just need that extra rich flavor. I don't know about you, but during the holidays, I want full fat everything. I want my butter, I want the heavy cream, I want whole milk, I want evaporated milk if it's necessary for the recipe. I don't like whole milk typically in my macaroni and cheese. Now, if someone uses it in theirs, I'll eat it because it'll probably taste just as good. It doesn't necessarily mess it up, but this adds so much more richness to any recipe that you add it to. Just try it. I guarantee you it'll change the game for your macaroni and cheese and whatever else you use it in. Next, we have something that is common in our kitchens, but I think some people overlook it, and that is Reynolds Wrap Heavy Duty. When it comes to foiling your pans for baking, etc., or lining your cookie sheets for whatever it is, Heavy Duty is gonna be the one to go to. And I say that because Heavy Duty is gonna lock in that moisture, particularly if you're doing baking like a roast or something like that. Sometimes you have to have multiple things in the oven at one time, and you don't have enough space to have those big lids from the roaster pan or something like that over the pan. So you need to cover it up, but you need it to be tight and sealed. It'll allow you to cover that pan. I'm telling you, it's better than the regular only because it's a thicker foil, which adds another layer of lock-in-ness. If that's a word. Next, we have something that is very important around the holidays or otherwise, and that is the lemon citrus. Many of you use it to flavor your pound cakes, your lemon bars, and all those great, amazing desserts that you're cooking. But let me tell you what this lemon does for me. And this is a must-have anytime I'm cooking a dish like this. If I'm baking chicken, making a turkey, if I'm doing oxtails, whatever it may be, I'm gonna use this lemon to wash the meat. My guy on social media, he always talks about washing the meat. Wash your meat! He don't play when it comes to washing the meat. Listen, it is so vital when it comes to getting your meat prepared for the seasoning so it tastes good. And you just want to get rid of all of that debris and all of that dead skin and whatever it is that may be on that meat. If you're doing oxtails or something like that, it helps to pull the blood out of that so that you don't have all that nasty looking meat when you're trying to season it up. So how I do this is I typically just cut up a bunch of lemons and I put it in a giant bowl with some water. Usually I'll use salt, sometimes baking soda, depending on what I'm cooking. I'll put my meat in that cold water. You want the water cold, y'all. You don't want to put hot water. Now, because we're not trying to cook the meat. We're just cleaning the meat. So let it soak. Let me say it again. Let it soak. And then you want to begin your cleaning process. And you'll do this depending on what kind of meat. Sometimes if it's a whole chicken, you might do this twice. If it's turkey necks, sometimes I'll do this a couple of times, 3 or 4 times before I actually start to cook them. And then I go through a whole nother process when I cook them, but that's another story, another video. I ain't gonna say it's gonna make it taste better, but it's sure gonna make it clean so that you're not eating a lot of gunk and foolishness. Next, we have a favorite of mine that I just so happened to bump into one time. I was just online looking for something and I had a couple of these items around and I just didn't like the way they cooked for me. I said, I need something sturdy, I need something firm and got a little weight to it. And I just happened to bump into this particular product and I said, you know what, I'm gonna give it a try. Y'all, the best thing I ever bought for my kitchen, and I have bought a lot of gadgets and stuff for the kitchen, and that is the NORDIC WARE baking pan. Oh my God. This thing is weighted, first of all, so I loved it. As soon as I picked it up, I was like, oh yeah, this is the one. I don't cook pound cakes often, but when I do, this is the one. I got bunk pans, I got all kind of other stuff in the cabinets. They don't get no love no more. Y'all know how I feel about a good pound cake. It cooks it to perfection, providing that you mixed it up right and all that kind of stuff. I don't know what it is they use on the inside, but it makes the release. You still want to grease it like you normally would, but somehow it's amazing. Give it a try. I'm telling you, if you are a baker, you would love it. You would love it. Next, we have another must-have that probably will surprise some of y'all, but my old school cooks again, y'all ain't gonna be surprised by this, and that is bacon fat or the bacon drippings. Anytime you cook bacon throughout the year, save the grease or save the drippings, as the old folks will say. Put them in a little jar, a mason jar, whatever you have, throw it in the refrigerator and keep it. And around the holiday seasons, when you're ready for that full fat encounter in the kitchen, pull out that bacon fat. And this you're gonna use in anything like your stir fries, any sauteed veggies. I even use it every now and then if I'm gonna have a fried egg for breakfast. When I tell you it upgrades the flavor. Now, if you're not a pork eater, y'all know how I feel about bacon. We talked about that in another video. So one of my things is the ham. I'm the designated ham person. Now, I don't eat pork, I eat bacon. And if you know, bacon is not really pork. It's like its own category of meat. It's its own food category. It's its own food group. So many of you don't eat pork, but you eat bacon, and I get it, I understand. So bacon fat is gonna change the game for you. Now, even you can do this for those who are doing cornbread to go with your greens and cabbage. You can line or grease your pan with the bacon fat. You can even melt some of the drippings and pour it over into the cornbread mixture. I'm just telling you, whatever you put it in, and if you're a bacon eater, you already know, whatever bacon goes in, bacon makes it better. Y'all say it with me, bacon makes it better. And the good thing about it is you can hide it in the dish where all of those, I don't eat that, all those people, they won't even know. Listen, I thank you all for joining me on another video here, and I want to see you back again real soon. Until then, enjoy your holidays, spend some time with your loved ones, connect with some people, and ultimately make sure you have some good food. And if you can't cook it, go somewhere where you can find it. I'll see you next time. This is Cornell Jermaine. Until then, take care.